Hey gang, Lou here from Jersey Shore Fabricators. So let's say you got a 71, a 73 Mustang. Doesn't really handle the way you want it to. Most likely you don't have a rear sway bar. Or you have one and you want a little bit better performance. I got something over here on my, my little makeshift table I want to show you. What we have here is a rear sway bar from a company called Adco, part number 990. And it comes with the bar. It comes with the sway bar end links, some washers, and then of course your your bar bushings. Now this is made for a car that came originally with a rear sway bar on it. You will be reusing your original bolts for your original sway bar. If you don't have them, go to the hardware store and find them. Installation is very, very straightforward. You spend 17 hours removing the shrink wrap from this. You're going to fish it through the car. Now this particular car has dual exhaust, so it just has to be fished through there, and you're going to let it lay here. Now, one of the things that I like to do to make life easy on myself is with the bolts, even if you clean them off, they're still going to be rust inside the car, so take a little WD-40, just give it a little squirt. That's all it needs. Now, once you do that, you're going to have the actual sway bar bushing itself. And these are urethane, so you have to grease them. I generally use a synthetic wheel bearing grease. You know, they do have a special grease for urethane, like if you buy a performance suspension, not performance suspension, oh, I'm having some vapor lock going on here. Well, urethane suspension kits generally come with their own grease, and it's nothing more than a synthetic grease. So, a little dab in there, and I'll show you what it looks like once it's installed. Once you get the sway bar fished through here, alright, you're going to get your sway bar bushings bolted in loosely. You want room to be able to move this around. Now, for those of you who tuned in just for a how-to on how to do this, let me give you a couple tips. Number one, before you send this through the car and fight with it, you'll notice that here where the end link goes, you can orientate it so that when this is laying on the ground, these tabs will either angle down or angle up. You want to make sure that they're angled up before you send it through the car. If you don't, you can't physically get both sway bar bushings bolted to the car. There's an offset built into it. Now the other thing is when you take your kit out of the package, this is how the end links are going to come. You're going to have 4 washers, 4 bushings, a spacer, and a lock nut, or a Greer nut. Let's see, that gives you a better look. Now, here's the way this goes. You have the bolt head with a washer, a bushing, sway bar, bushing, washer, spacer, washer, bushing, axle, bushing, washer, nut. Let me show you. This is how it's going to look on the car. So you have your bolt head, a washer, bushing, sway bar, bushing, washer, spacer, washer, bushing, axle, bushing, washer, lock nut. Okay, let's see if I can pull out. It's that simple. The washers always go where there's going to be metal and metal contact. The bushings always sandwich the steel of the car and the steel of the sway bar. Now at this point you can go ahead and lock everything down and you are done. Everybody okay? That was pretty scary. So as I said, at this point you can go ahead and lock everything up and you're done. It's that easy to put this in. And the nice thing about this kit is that this is a 7/8 sway bar, whereas the original one was only 5/8, so you get a little bit better handling out of it. But what kicked this whole thing off was that these sway bar end links, I could not find replacements for. All I wanted was factory replacements. I couldn't find them. So I ended up buying the whole kit. Unfortunately, it's not that much money. I think it was either $140 or $240. I want to say $140. But that's all there is to it. It's a tight fit going past the gas tank, but don't worry about it. It does fit. Alright guys, that wraps it up. So, yeah, basically just follow the instructions. It's not that hard. It's a rear sway bar. It's not rocket science. Things to remember are to simply make sure that the sway bar bushings are greased. Make sure you put a little bit of oil or WD-40 on the bolts that are going back in. It does make it a whole lot easier. You can clean the bolts all you want, but where it's threaded into the car is still going to be rusty. Like I said, these are just little things that make your life a little bit easier while you're doing a job like this. If you found anything in the video that you liked, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Jersey Shore Fabricators, LLC. Go out and have fun. Enjoy your new sway bar. Go out and handle turns. Until we see you next time, peace.